Welcome back, guys. This is Let's Talk Bulls, and tonight we're going to go over the Chicago Bulls losing their first in-season tournament game against the Brooklyn Nets, 109-107. We were not able to pull it off despite Zach and DeMar both scoring over 20. Coby having one of the best games he's had this season, and Patrick Williams looking aggressive throughout the time he was on the floor. We could not make it work, and we're going to talk about it right after this.
Give me the hot sauce! Give me the hot sauce!
Before we get started, I'm going to have you guys make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you keep getting these videos in your timeline. If you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Let's Talk Bulls, a podcast from the perspective of a Chicago fan. And what I want to do today is get right into it. The Chicago Bulls lose 109-107 to the Brooklyn Nets. This game was close throughout. We did a lot of things that I do love, but we also made some mistakes that I am tired of seeing this team make. So first thing we're going to talk about is a thing I think really stopped us from winning this game, and that is Brooklyn was shooting good from the three. As usual, guarding the three-point line this season has been an issue for us. I gotta say, from watching these teams constantly beat us with great three-point shooting, it really shows how important it is for the Bulls to have a consistent 3-and-D type of player on this team. It seems that we are taking more threes this year, but we are not making them. We started this game out pretty hot on the three-point line, but that fizzled out as it usually does for us, not making shots towards the second half of the game. And I think it really shows we need a consistent shooter. We need that 3-and-D type of player to sit in the corner or come off picks and make those shots. Right now, really our best three-point shooter is Zach LaVine, but we do not run enough plays for him to be that type of shooter. We treat Zach a little bit like a point guard at times. We also run plays for him to get the ball so he can dribble and take isolation plays, but we do not spend enough time putting him in position for catch and shoot. During this game, during an interview, they were going over what they were talking to Zach LaVine about, and he said taking a catch and shoot three is like taking a layup for him. But yet we do not try to get him open as much on those catch and shoot threes, which is just hurting us. It is something that we need to work on if we want to get better as a team, as well as finding a shooter, whether it's through a trade or whether it's through someone getting bought out. Anything that could happen throughout this season, we need to add some talent, or if it is in the offseason. I can tell you from what I'm seeing, we need a three-point quality shooter on this team. Another thing that really stopped us from getting the win in this game is defense. If you've been watching the Bulls, you know that the last few games we've been playing really good defense. But the issue this game is we just were not staying in front of our man. Constantly, we had people driving past us off the dribble, which all it does is make us collapse into the paint and leave shooters open. The Bulls are terrible right now at getting out to that open shooter. They showed it this game. We've seen a lot of teams focus on three-point shooting, especially against us. We're not getting out to the corners. We're not getting out to the wing. And getting your man to drive past you is only helping them set us up for those plays. We cannot keep relying on letting someone drive by us and having help. This is not the team with the center that can just take over those type of plays, right? This is not the Nets. We don't have a Claxton who's going to sit there and throw things out of the paint when they get by you. This is not Philadelphia. We do not have an Embiid to play defense if someone gets by you. This team has to play defense and guard their man right up to the front and make sure they don't get past them. If we're setting screens or we're being screened, we need to talk. There's so many times the Bulls are set up on a defensive scheme. Someone comes to set a pick and we do not talk or let that person know where that screen's coming from. They are surprised, and once again, it makes the entire defense collapse. I need us to focus on that. It's kind of at this point getting to a point where it's annoying to not see these things done. It's a simple effort play. And if you've been watching the games, you know it seems like the Bulls sometimes just do not have the effort or heart to do these things. It's just a simple thing that has to be changed with this team, whether it's Billy just grinding it into practice or the players focusing and contacting and talking to each other in the game. It has to happen more. And once again, the last thing that I think caused us to lose this game, and this is my big point for this video, is the Bulls once again stopped doing the thing that was working. I do not understand why this team will do things that seem like it is getting us back in the game, it gets us a lead, and we somehow decide that we are not doing that thing anymore. A perfect example of this is the Bulls started the game out shooting pretty decently, so did Brooklyn. The good thing was when that did slow down, we made an adjustment. It looked like Billy made an adjustment. Okay, we started driving to the basket, getting contact, getting layups. Brooklyn was having trouble stopping that. And one of the big reasons of that is Coby. I've been talking about it the last couple videos. I am loving this combination of Coby and Vooch in the pick and roll. Now, mind you, we didn't do a lot of pick and roll this game. It seemed like Brooklyn really planned out how to guard Vooch this game and really make sure he couldn't do much. Vooch only had 13 points. He did get 13 rebounds as well, but they were stopping him on that pick and roll and drive to the basket. They were shutting it off. The issue here is Coby was not attacking as much as I think he should have. He did a great job of attacking the rim, getting his layups, but I think he should have been even more aggressive in this game. During the third, it looked like Coby and Zach and Patrick were attacking consistently. We were driving. Even though we weren't getting the fouls called, we were still getting layups. We were getting to the basket. And honestly, a thing I loved is I didn't see us complaining about not getting those calls. This was a very, very aggressive game from both sides. They were not calling it. They were letting us play. And we took advantage of that for a while. It was working. And then once the fourth happened, once again the Bulls decided that we don't do the thing that is helping us get the lead. Then we lost the lead, and then we lost the game. So my big point for the day is stick to what the hell is working. If you see that you drove 6 times and you scored on 5 of them, do not spend the next 8 plays isolating and not driving and looking for only 3-point shots. It's not smart basketball, right? I know it. You know it. Normal people who play basketball or watch basketball know it. If it works, you do it again, right? It's one of the things I need someone to be a leader on this team and say, no, we're doing it again. One of the big things you will hear about LeBron is if something's working, he tells his team, regardless of what the coach calls, no, we're running it again. It didn't work. It worked on their defense last time. It's going to work again. We're going to keep running it until it doesn't work. But we need to have that mentality. Run the play, drive to the basket, be aggressive. This team has been struggling with having an identity on offense, right? That is our issue. We do not have an identity. Every game we come in doing something else, right? One game we're pick and roll. Coby's doing great. Vooch is doing great. We're playing through Vooch. We're letting Coby do his thing. The next game, Zach is isolating. He may score 50, but the whole game plan is let Zach cook. The next game, DeMar might hit some mid-ranges. Okay, cool. It's DeMar's game. We're going to step back, let DeMar do his thing. Next game, we're hoping P-Will steps up. There is no consistency in this offense. There has to be a way you play. If we are going to be a team that is feared and consistent, you have to have a way you play. The way you get better on your offense, the way you get into a rhythm, the way you get continuity, which is our word of the year, word of last year, is to do something consistently. If you see that Coby and Vooch are making a good combination, use it. Keep using it. Let them perfect it if it's working. But don't let them do it one game and then the next game just stop. And now we are back to trying to figure out what works again. It's not helping this team at all. It's just not helping us be a consistent offensive team. So we need to really focus down on our identity and decide, Are we an isolation team? Are we playing for ball movement? Are we going to be a running gun team? Are we going to focus on shooting threes? Because right now we got one game where we shoot 30 to 43 pointers and the next game where we shoot 12. I need to understand what this team plan is. Because every game I go in, I never know if we're going to win or not. I can't say, oh, we are really good at driving to the basket. This team sucks at defending that. We should win this game. Because for all I know, in that game, the Bulls are just going to decide that that's the game they shoot 46 threes. Just how we play. I don't know if it's Billy. I don't know if he's telling the players to do something and they're just deciding not to do it. But it has to be figured out if this team wants to be good. And this is one of those games where I am getting slightly annoyed. And you can kind of hear it in the video. You can hear it in my voice. I want to go over the reasons we lost. I want to go over the good things that we did. But the issue here is that as a fan, it is so irritating to see this team constantly lose close games and know that we did something that was working and that we decided not to do anymore when we got to the end of the game. So, now that we talked about the things I'm pissed off about and the things I think we need to work on, I also want to give some shout outs to things I thought we did well. First things first, Patrick Williams. I'm going to call him Powerful Patrick today, okay? Patrick Star from SpongeBob. He drove to the lane. He was aggressive. He did what he needed to do. He was strong. That's the Patrick we need to see. Patrick was attacking off of rebounds. He was driving down the court. No passing out. He was taking the ball and going. And that is what we need. A confident P. Will who attacks the rim. From what I'm seeing on this team, we should just be attacking the rim in general. But seeing Patrick be aggressive this game really shows that he took being benched seriously. The issue is he going to need to keep being benched every time he gets slow? Or will he finally have that wake-up moment that this team will get rid of him if he does not show what he wants? You can't ask for millions of dollars in an extension and not play to that type of game. You just can't. So I'm happy I saw aggressive Patrick. I want to see more aggressive Patrick. And I think that's something where we have to keep pushing him to do this game in and game out. Next up, Coby White. Or maybe for this game, I don't know what happened. I saw a little bit of Kobe Bryant. I'm kidding. I didn't. But one of Kobe's best games. 18, 3, and 2. Coby was scoring. He was attacking the basket, whether it was off of pick and rolls, whether it was off faking the pick and roll and driving the other way. He was doing the things he needed to do, hitting it on the break. This is the type of Coby I love to see. My personal thoughts on this team, I think we are better when Coby is playing that pick and roll with Vooch. I think they have a little bit of a chemistry that they are developing. I want to see us really grow that chemistry. I don't think it'll be perfect this year, but I think if we really make the commitment to let him be this point guard and we let him really run the offense with those pick and rolls, we could make a very deadly team with people having to guard him or decide to collapse on Vooch. It's going to get our shooters open. We have Zach who's great at catch and shoot. Right now, P. Will, if he can get back to shooting 50%, and my personal thoughts is if we have DeMar and put him on the bench and have someone else do it, or trade DeMar. And when I say put him on the bench, I mean like after he starts second quarter, he comes out, we have a shooter that comes in for that lineup. Or you trade him, you get a 3-and-D wing that stays in the corner and shoots. And that's what he's known for. He plays defense and he shoots the damn ball. If we can have that type of shooting around those two, running that pick and roll, I think we can be a very deadly offense where people have to decide if they want to stop Coby, they want to stop Vooch, or they want to stop a shooter. And I think it also works because you can switch out Coby with DeSumo when you need it, if you need someone to keep that aggression driving to the basket. Last, I just want to talk about the game overall. Torrey Craig did start this game. He looked good. He got some rebounds. He brought energy right out the gate. He also hit a 3 right out the gate. You can see that he was ready to take his spot in this starting lineup today. He was ready to step up. And honestly, there might be a little bit to it where people saw him do so good and realized he had to play. right? It might have really shown him that if he doesn't do what he needs to do, that spot is gone. Because Torrey Craig said, I am ready to do what I need to do. So that was the game today. Tomorrow we do have a game. My video tomorrow will probably be late because I will be closing. So I'm going to be watching the game on my way home, on the train, ready to make a video for you guys. So it'll probably be a really late video tomorrow that comes up, but I will be making one for you to make sure that we keep these going. We are on the journey of this podcasting. Leave in the comments what you think about the Bulls, what you think about trades, what you want to hear from this podcast. And let me know what you're really thinking about the podcast so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope I can make this place a family. But with that, I hope you guys have a great night. Here's another video out. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.